Okay, when I follow the events in Greece, I had a sense of, first, outrage, anger, second, deep admiration, and third, and this may sound strange, hope. First, the outrage. Last speaker explained very well what happened. I don't have to do it all over again. But if you see what happens, Western governments say to Western, to the people in the Netherlands or Germany or whatever, we take your money and we give it to the Greeks. That's what they say. They don't give it to the Greeks. They give it to the Greek government, who gives it to the Greek banks, who gives it back to the French, the Dutch, and the German banks. It's robbery in an indirect way. You rob the people here to give it to the banks and the government there, to give it back to the banks here. So it's a very weird robbery. But they don't only rob in that way, they rob directly the Greek population by lowering their wages again and again, by lowering unemployment benefits or what's left of it again and again, by throwing people out of their jobs. It's a robbery in a very open, arrogant way. The Greek government is doing that, but I reserve the most outrage for the Dutch government. I'm a person from the Netherlands. I speak English now because most of you don't understand Dutch, so I try to do it in English. But I am, if I would be nationalist, I would be an ashamed nationalist. But I'm not a nationalist, I try not to be. But I hate what the Dutch government is doing to the Greek population. I hate it. If there is people, if tomorrow or the day after, I read that a child in Athens starves because there is no food anymore, or because they can't pay the health bill for the pharmacist or whatever, I don't just blame the Greek government, I blame Minister De Jager, Minister of Finance in the Netherlands. He says he doesn't want 80% of the deal, he wants 100% of the deal. Let's give him 100% of the blame if anything more goes wrong. It's an international struggle. That's the sense of outrage I feel. Then my sense of admiration. What the people in Greece are doing to push back, I'm in deep admiration for that. The demonstrations, the strikes, yes, the riots, everything, the whole pushing back against the government, against the bankers. They are struggling against robbery, and they are setting an example how to struggle against robbery for years on end. And we in the Netherlands have the same struggle. No, our wages are not yet cut with 20 or 30%. It's 1 or 2% at this moment. But it will become worse and worse. If the Greek workers, students, school kids, pensioners, whatever, old people, young people, migrant people, whatever, if they succeed in pushing back austerity and in the process overthrowing their government, they're setting an example for all of us in the whole of Europe, including in the Netherlands. Thank you for setting that example. I don't know whether you succeed, but here is my hope. My hope is that together in the whole of Europe and in the whole of the world, the Greek struggle may succeed. I'm not saying it will succeed, I'm not sure, but I see they're standing. The Greek struggle is ours. That's why I'm here. The Greek struggle is an international struggle. The Greek defeat will be our defeat, but the Greek victory will be our defeat. It will be our victory if we do it together. We can do it together. This struggle will not end today, not in Greece, not in the Netherlands. There has been, I'm asked to make mention of a coming action in the whole of Europe, an international day of action against capitalism. That will be on the 31st of March. I have handed out some leaflets already. There will be a meeting on that. And I think
Oh, okay.
There will be a meeting on that in Utrecht on February 25, Voorstraat 71 at 15 o'clock. Who doesn't have a leaflet can ask it at the end of me. Back to the Greek struggle. It's an inspiring, but it's a hard struggle. We read again and again of the chemical weapons. They call it tear gas, but it's much heavier tear gas than we experience in the Netherlands or in Germany or other European countries. It's a chemical weapon that feels like tear gas, but much more dangerous. It's a miracle, actually, I think, that not many more people have died already on the streets at these kind of demonstrations that we're seeing last week. But why is the Greek government doing this? They do it to save their own skin, their own money. They do it to save the bankers, they do it to save the system. And if you saw what happened last Sunday, the tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people from all of Athens trying to reach, I don't know if I pronounce it correctly, Syntagma Square, the main square where Parliament was meeting to say yes to this robbery pact. If you saw what happened, they tried to reach the square and the state did all they could to prevent people expressing their opinion on the deal at the square in the middle of town. What were they afraid of? Imagine 500,000 people at that square. The people would have felt so strong the government would have collapsed. They did everything in their power to prevent that. That shows not how powerful they are, that shows how scared they are. They are scared for our side. We are a few hundred. That's not enough. That's not enough. We have to build bigger demonstrations. We have to build solidarity with actions in the Netherlands of workers fighting back. I'm thinking about the cleaner strike going on for weeks now. We have to build all these links between groups of people fighting back. The Greek struggle is ours. Our struggle is the Greek struggle. Together we can win.
Oye, so Sol now from the Spanish Indignado.
We live in difficult times. We are witnessing horrors that shock us and do not let us act and think rationally. But we are smart and creative, and we can learn from the past and find solutions.